Hello everybody and welcome to Pravus Gaming and more Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich. Yes, we are finally doing it. People have been asking, and I am going to deliver. Kaiserreich is now on version 0.6.3, Garibaldi's Nightmare, which is very Italian-focused, so you know what? It seems appropriate for us to pick a nation in Italy today for this campaign. Now, Italy's actually been reworked a bit in Kaiserreich since the Waking the Tiger expansion. It used to be down here in the south, you had the Socialist Republic of Italy, and in the north you had the Italian Federation. That's been changed around. Now the Socialists are up here in the north, the Italian Republic is a thing, and they're quite small, and then you have the Kingdom of Two Sicilies, taking over the area where the Socialist Republic used to be. You also could play as the Papal State, and I've had a lot of people request that I play as them, and I did try some practice games. They are phenomenally weak, and their national focus tree is a little restrictive. It doesn't really give them much of anything for conquest. It's probably better suited to an AI than to a player. So we have any of these as an option here. I'm thinking we might go for the Kingdom of Two Sicilies. Not especially sure what the history of this is supposed to be, but it sounds pretty cool. And with them, we might be able to try to reform an Italian empire, or something similar, who knows? At least reuniting all of Italy would certainly be quite fun. I have not much of an idea what the Kingdom of Sicily's national focus tree is like, so it's going to be a bit blind for me, not very planned out, but that's half the fun. The other nation that I thought actually sounded really fun in this latest expansion for Kaiserreich is the Sultanate of Egypt. I thought that sounded pretty fun. Could be worth trying out in a future campaign. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. All right, we have Thank You Kaiserreich team. I only want to know about the major events, and then there's a bunch of things on betas, apparently. Interesting. Some performance issues. All right, going back to this. So, Kingdom of Two Sicilies. Hello. We start off with a few troops, and we are guaranteeing the Papal State right now to start from the Socialists, so that they don't try to take it over and overthrow the Pope. Now, the one reason I would say playing as a Papal State is so rough is it really is dependent on what your neighbors do. The Kingdom of Sicily does have a national focus that allows them to go to war with the Socialist Republic instantly. And it seems like the AI likes to do that even when they are grossly outnumbered and the entire communist faction comes and kills them. In which case, you're surrounded by enemies with really nothing to do, so we'll try not to be stupid this time around. So for our national focus, we have Royal Armed Forces, which is always going to be good, a little bit of political power and army experience, okay. And with that, we can either take the fight to the Socialists and try to conquer the entire area, or take a more defensive stance, fortify, get some really good research going, start getting some pretty solid bonuses for some troops, which is interesting. Never surrender is hopefully something we'll never experience. That means we actually are, like, losing everything. Anyway, the future of Mezzogiorno. Research bonus for industry. Potentially okay. That could lead to a lot, and I mean a lot, of economic prosperity here. The agrarian question, agrarian? You mean agrarian? Okay. Through land reform, modern farming, more factories are good. Factory, factory, factory. I like all of that. Tons of factories. Here's the way that we deal with Black Monday. Right down in this tree here, which is probably going to be good in the early game. Down this direction, we cannot do Defensive Alliance, the Constitutional Kingdom, or the Organic Kingdom. This stuff is going to be heavily dependent on the international and internal politics of the Kingdom of Two Sicilies. In this case, if democracy prevails, we can go down to becoming a constitutional monarchy and have a stable democracy. Or, if we have integralists take control, we can start becoming a bit more autocratic in how we do things, which also could be kind of fun, depending. And then there's Defensive Alliance. It depends on who we want to be friends with. We could side with the German Empire, with the Austrians, or with the Entente. Cannot side with the syndicalists in this campaign. Fate of Italy will lead to either being able to form an Italian empire or kind of break up Italy into a bunch of tiny nations, which I don't really see any good reason to do, personally. I mean, you get a lot of really good power in terms of, like, factories and stuff, lots of good alliances. It's like creating your own mini-faction, but I think forming an empire is going to be way better, personally. Okay, so do we want to go for the political power, or do we want to go down this route and prepare for Black Monday? I think preparing for Black Monday could be smart really early on, so we're going to go ahead and pick that up. For our research, let's go for our standard opening of electronic, mechanical, engineering, the basic machine tools, and the construction. Perfect. For factories, now let's see, we have a handful 5 civilian factories that we can use. I wouldn't mind having at least a couple more. Partly so I can build things faster, but then after that, I think we focus mostly on just getting military factories, as many as we can, really. And that's kind of going to be it for the foreseeable future. All right, free dockyards. I don't know if I want to spend the resources on convoys right now. I mean, maybe it's not the worst in the world. It's just not a super high priority. Alternatively, building like some submarines would allow us to at least try to patrol, sink some escorts and stuff. Maybe. Let's worry about our other factories first and then come back to that. So we start off with only 5. We're automatically making fighters, which are terrible. Let's get rid of that. Infantry equipment and some towed artillery, not so bad, but let's switch over to some support equipment so that I can start getting some companies a little bit earlier. And we're lacking tungsten, but I don't really think that's worth worrying about right now. So that leaves me with a little bit of steel, no oil. I think we could probably afford to go ahead and start making either some subs or some convoys. Convoys are generally the smarter choice. But actually, maybe some destroyers wouldn't be so bad either. Let's go ahead and start making some destroyers. Let's do that. It's not going to hurt me much. I have a little bit of steel to work with. Perfect. All right. All these troops. Hi. Get under this guy. Let's find a general. Let's see. Planning speed. Kind of messed up with the cautious here, isn't it? Chance for him to get wounded. That does seem to happen a lot. Attack and planning. Division defense could be pretty good in the early game. Entrenchment, more defense, bad planning, speed. I don't know. Oh, there's a field marshal we start off with too. Okay, let's go for the really strong defensive guy to start off, because we're really just going to kind of get a good front line here against the socialists and just kind of hold that and pretty much nothing else. Let's also put him under the command of a field marshal who will give me some planning speed, supply consumption, and organization loss when moving reduction. Perfect. Okay. Moving on with the game. And these guys, we probably should give them an admiral. Submarine attack, I guess, is the best we can do at the moment. And we're just going to have you patrol this rough approximate area. There we go. Just patrol around Italy. Look how many ships there are. Whee! The Kingdom of Two Sicilies in 1936. Here comes the lore. Following the Napoleonic Wars, the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies was created, combining the two old kingdoms of Naples and Sicily, lasting until 1860 when Sardinia sought to unite Italy under her rule. The south, which was always generally agricultural, suffered at the hands of the Savoys. Right, like Savoys up here and stuff, who did not care much for actually industrializing the south, and poverty became commonplace. When the Weltkrieg began in 1914, Italy chose the side of the Entente, much to her ruin. When the Austrians achieved victory against the Italians, they broke up the kingdom into a number of smaller states, and out of the resulting bloody civil war, the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies was reborn. Since the end of hostilities, the kingdom has been focused internally, trying to resolve the serious issues left by the House of Savoy, and the politically successful Social Democrats have tried to carve out a new path for the kingdom. The rise of the opposing integralisti, there's two D's there. How am I supposed to pronounce? Doji Sicily could signal a radical change in the kingdom's politics. Only time will tell if they get to achieve this, or if democracy will prevail. Low popularity to start off. Okay, so what's it looking like? Social Democrats, 30%. It's not the worst in the world, honestly. National populists are growing a little bit. Okay, so hang on. I'm a little confused about this. So integralists. Does this lead down a national populist route? Is that the point? Yes. Change in popularity of national populists. Twice, in fact. So we could go down, basically with the integralists, we could go down the proper Mussolini route if we wanted to bring that into the world. It probably would upset a few people, including the Germans to the north, who I am strongly considering allying them. We may want to try and focus on a constitutional kingdom, but we'll play that by ear, because I'm really not sure what's going to be the best yet. The assassination of President Kerensky. So sorry. I will send you a condolence fruit basket. Alright, so how are we looking with our troops? All infantry by the look of things. What is the template currently? It is 9 infantry. We can make that a 10th, which would not be bad. Plus, it does start with the support artillery, and we do have engineer companies researched, which is going to be nice. Something I learned, by the way, recently, that I did not know for my last 2 playthroughs, and I probably should have, and maybe people left some comments, but I missed it. I didn't realize that line artillery got nerfed pretty badly, apparently. The 7 infantry, 2 artillery combo that we're used to seeing dominate is no longer as feasible. And on top of that, superior firepower as the doctrine actually managed to... they actually revised that a little bit so that the... what was it? Dispersed report? Yeah, does not cause nearly as much soft attack in line artillery. So basically, line artillery got nerfed to the ground. I mean, it's still a somewhat comparable option, but now I'm actually thinking integrated support is going to be better every time. Because we're probably going to have to rely on artillery support companies to get a lot of our soft attack. And on top of that, this not only affects our infantry divisions, but also motorized tanks, anything else where we're going to have our soft attack in support companies. So superior firepower might still be good. But that was a major change that I was not aware of. The Totalist Charter. This is new in this latest version. Mussolini, Valois, Beria, and other interested parties arrived in Birmingham today to discuss their common ground. It has been agreed that Maximism, I thought that was Marxism, but no, Maximism, Sorelianism, and National Syndicalism all share basic principles of the state's primacy of the socialist struggle, blah, 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 blah. They've decided to create a socialist faction called Totalism. Basically, this is something that the socialists over here are doing right now. Which, you know, great. They are going to be a major threat to us, especially because we know they are going to join up with the Commune of France and the Union of Britain. These socialists, they actually are already a part of the Third International. Okay, never mind. So the Reichspakt might be our only saving grace. We could join up with the Entente, but if we didn't learn anything from World War I, or the Weltkrieg, is that the Entente is weak and did not help us and kind of demolished our nation. So I'm thinking Reichspakt. But we'll see how the Emperor feels about us. The alternative, of course, is Austria, which probably will form the, what is it called, Danubian Federation, take over Hungary and pretty much this entire region over here. They actually might be worth allying instead. It kind of depends. We will keep both of our options open. Black Monday has fired. February 1936, the Berlin Stock Exchange and the equivalent of the Great Depression officially begins. Electrical gridlock in France. Apparently the syndicalists are having some trouble deciding who they want to lead them. Not that I care, because I hate them all. And may God protect us all, Black Monday has hit the kingdom. Our production efficiency is reduced by 20%, our factory output by a whopping 40%, construction speed by 35%, resources to market goes down, and base stability goes down even further. Very dangerous. Could easily go toward a civil war if you're not careful. Not happy about that. Hey, whatever, we'll come back to it. That's why we're working on it. Poverty and crime rises. Black Monday hits, and poverty skyrockets, and living standards for Sicilians drops. Great. 5% loss of stability. Sooner we can finish this, probably the better. Industrial investments is not very helpful, but it will lead to dealing with the crisis. Downfall in stability, because that's how Kaiserreich works. There's a whole stability mechanic over here, which means now we're going to lose even more factory output and stuff until we fix the stability problem. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. But dealing with the crisis will be good. The cap goes up a little bit. It's not actually a huge improvement now that I think about it. Not massive, but it has to be done. Little infrastructure, then the worst is over, goes to austerity measures, and then ending the crisis. Removes the national spirit austerity measures entirely. We could dig greedily and deeply. That's fun. More industry. Civilian factories. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we're going to need to do here. Pretty much all of the early game is focused to dealing with Black Monday, which some people find very boring in Kaiserreich, and I can't say that I blame you. But we have to do it. I mean, if I ever want to have a chance in hell at catching up with our much stronger allies, or neighbors, I mean to say, then we kind of need to do that. The death of Pius XI. Okay, so if you're playing as a papal state, this is the big thing right here. You really can't do anything, no focuses at all, until the Pope dies. And then you have to decide which guy you want to become the new Pope. And he can be more syndicalist in nature, a bit more market liberal, a bit more theocratic. It could be anything, really. There's 4 different options. Depending on what he chooses is going to depend a lot of the course of the game for the papal state. But let's be honest, he's not exactly the most important of nations. I mean, he's relevant to us because we are guaranteeing him from the syndicalist threat, but, you know, we'll see what he decides. We'll see what he decides. He might become a hardliner who wants to focus on war, and he'll become a battle pope. Could happen. It's not especially likely. I didn't realize that Malta was owned by the German Empire. Interesting. And what about Sardinia? These guys apparently are a problem. They're part of the Entente, too. The Kaiserreich, I don't know what this is. With the rise of crime in the country due to Black Monday, the Militia Voluntaria, voluntary militia, per la Sicurezza Nacional, has been formed. The MVSN, or as they are informally called, Kaiserreich for their black shirts, have been popping up throughout the kingdom from Naples to Palermo and everything in between, supposedly led by I don't know. This paramilitary organization is described as the muscle between the integrality of the kingdom, for they have been keeping watch during their rallies as well as disrupting and breaking up rallies of the left wing. Their disciplined militaristic marches through the streets of major cities draw large crowds and drum up more recruits, especially amongst the youth. So these are the national populists. Lose some stability, but they become a lot more popular. Yep, that may not be good for us. The maneuvers of the Carpathians, Treaty of Bucharest, Romania, I don't know if I care as much about that. Hey, stuff happening over in this side of the world, whatever. Whatever, old Carpathia. Probably an interesting kingdom or empire. Can't say that I'm a huge enough history buff to know much about them, though. My popularity is going down, and it's making everything really kind of expensive. Not happy about that. The Papal Conclave, White Smoke. Okay, they have chosen Pope Pius XII. I think this is a guy... Yes, I think this is the one that is friendly to us and will want to focus on being kind of defensive and militaristic. So we'll see. Status of Sicily. When the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies was remade in after... The Weltkrieg, an act by the Parliament in Naples granted the Isle of Sicily considerable autonomy. This act granted the island its own regional parliament. This has granted the island quite a bit of power and influence within the kingdom's politics. Long live Sicily! Free political power! Yay! I like that. The first international congress by syndicalists. Boo! Now, do we want to focus on going toward a new economy with early mobilization? That would be helpful. For a few reasons. It actually would mean that we can build our factories 20% faster, which would make a huge difference in the early game. Might be worth. I don't think we need a volunteer military right now. Export focus is okay. I don't want to focus any power. Actually, you no longer can spend power in stability. I just realized it's based on this. So that's something. We could consider changing out some ministers if any of them are terrible. That's not bad. Social Democrats, faction, focus on peace. You're all right. Focus on aviation. Ugh. Stability, you're pretty good. Military intelligence, I think we are probably going to go ahead and move directly toward an early mobilization. And even with Black Monday destroying a lot of our factory construction, I'm hoping that that will help a lot. A call for traditional values. The conservative Archbishop of Naples, Alessio Ascalesi, has given a stern and powerful sermon calling for the return to traditional values and turn away from social democratic policies that are ruining the kingdom and the fault for Black Monday. Right, because we broke the German stock exchange. Makes sense. Many that support the social conservative Democrazia Cristiana have taken this as a sign and are energized. May God protect the kingdom. There goes more popularity. This is becoming a bit of a problem. The parties are growing stronger. There's too many political factions. Why don't we go back to the old-fashioned two-party system? That's always worked so great in America. Surely it would work here. One party for each kingdom. Yeah, I like that. All right, we can actually go ahead and get some new traits on our marshals and stuff. Reinforce rate, recovery rate, fast planner. I kind of like max planning. I mean, speed is nice and all. It means you can go for much faster pushes, too. But just more means that at the beginning of a war, when you've been sitting for a while, it's a bit better. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to do that there. We're going to pick you up. We're going to add a new trait. We are going to give you, I think... 10 entrenchment is really good. So is 15% attack, but I think we're going to go for the entrenchment. This is already a defensive general, so let's just make him even tankier. I just need to hold out. I just need to hold out for a while. We also probably do want to start training up some divisions. So let's train up what we can. That's too much in terms of our manpower. Okay. So we can afford really just a couple. Like 4. It's not a lot, but we'll see. There's electronic mechanical engineering done. Let's go for the mechanical computing for the extra research speed. To start off, the syndicalists are pretty weak. They mostly just have militia, which apparently... Fascinating. I thought that they were actual militia units, but it's reporting that some of them are actually just motorized. Huh. Not what I expected. Not what I expected at all. What do you know? Anyway. We aren't missing a whole lot over here. Still working on these factories, but truth be told, we're not going to have anything done for a couple of years until we figure out this whole Black Monday crap. So, industrial investments probably is going to be smart. Good news is we'll be able to start building up our production efficiency cap and stuff a lot faster via research. Social Democrats. Ah, yes, the classic red rose. Social democracy. Democratic socialism or something. I don't know. All right, dealing with the crisis. Yes, the extra 15% construction speed would be kind of important for us. Factory output, a little bit better, but mostly I want the construction speed to be fixed up. After that, infrastructure is not a big deal. 5%, we may want to start going down this route and get some free factories and stuff. We have to do all of it, basically. If you want to finish up with Black Monday, we're going to have to do it all. So yeah, nothing to do, but sit back for a while, try to manage our political situation, and rebuild an economy at the time of a global recession. Thanks, Germany! Aftermath of Black Monday. Yeah, he's freaking out about it, too. You actually kind of like me for some reason. Authoritarian Democrats. Not too sure why you like me. I don't think we're ever... I mean, maybe we can join a faction with these guys. Depends on what our national focus actually allows. Let's take a look at that. Whoop, fighting between the left and the right. Hang on, I want to look at this first. The Two Sicilies seek to join the Reichspakt. Ooh, we can join. Interesting. So if they like me enough, they might just let me straight up join their faction, which would be fantastic, because they're going to have to fight the International anyway. Alternatively, we join the Entente even though they're weak, or maybe Austria, one of the two, join their faction, and then eventually we'll just declare war with Strike Now immediately, and then hopefully we'll have the Reichspakt plus one of the other factions fighting the Third International as well. I'm not sure yet. Again, we're keeping our options open. A rally by the Confederación General Siciliana del Lavoro, or the Sicilian General Why didn't you just say that the first time? The Sicilian General Confederation of Labor. For the ruling Partito Cristiano Democratico was disrupted when members of the Commissionere disrupted their rally. This disruption quickly turned into a bloody battle that left quite a few injured, and even worse, a few fatalities on both sides. While the CGSL has forsworn syndicalism, the the National Socialists have been lately decrying their members as agents of the Socialist Republic in the North. Now the outcome of this particular case must be decided. Are these members innocent, or do the words of the National Socialists hold merit and truth? Market liberals and social liberals, or social conservatives and national populists. We're going to go for the market liberals. The union members are innocent, okay? They aren't officially a part of any of this. They've declared that they're enemies. They are just exercising their right to organize and assemble and express their own speech, okay? Frickin' national populists. Why don't you like that? What do you have against free frickin' speech? Oh, right, you like to control the narrative. I forgot. Whatever. All right, let's go ahead and set up an offensive line here just so we have a planning bonus. Not that I intend on using it anytime soon. Though right now they are incredibly weak, but I can't fight France as well. It's just not possible. All right, do we want to go for concentrated or dispersed industry? I'm thinking maybe dispersed. I can't remember which I decided I liked better. Overall, it's a 5% factory output difference, but there's a production efficiency retention and base, which is pretty good. Also, less bombing vulnerability and such, which is not terrible. We're going to go for the dispersed industry. Again, it's all about the economy at the beginning of the game. In Kaiserreich. It's the economy, stupid. Let's see. You are a bit more offensive in nature. We're going to go ahead and give you the infantry expert. Just keep spending some of that command power. Can't really do much else, though, unless I want to get some more field marshals, which at the moment I would say is not a high priority. Our ideology has grown, thank God. Yes, we do need this. Shut up. I need as much as freaking possible. I've only got 25 right now. There's actually a good chance that the market liberals could become a thing, too. Which I'm not opposed to. Market liberals are pretty cool. Some might say that it's my IRL ideology, so I have a little bit of a bias in that direction. Interesting that the Union of Britain and the Commune of France are both finding some electoral gridlock. Looks like the syndicalists are not playing nicely with each other. Which is fine with me. Don't have a problem with that. Dealing with the crisis. All right, that improves things ever so slightly. Let's go for the extra civilian factory, so we can construct things a teeny bit faster. It shaved off a few months, but it's not going to be much. We're only 17% of the way through. Yikes. Black Monday's rough, man. I did find, in my practice game as the Papal State, like, it is borderline impossible to build any factories. You try building one? Yeah, it'll be done by 1940. Ah! This is way too long. I'll be dead before that. And in the case of Pope Pius the 11th, it was literal. He would be dead before that. I don't know. I'm just saying, it's a little bit rough. It's a rough game, and it's really dependent on everyone else around you. There's really not much you can do. You can only get so strong. All right, let's see. 1936, we could go for things like radio. I think we go ahead and start with the Superior Firepower Doctrine. It is still good. Not as good as it used to be, but it is still a good doctrine, and I do like the idea of preserving my manpower since I am a small nation, at least until I can reform all of the Italian Empire and get a lot more cores. That'd be nice. But we're a long ways away from that. Long dang ways away. What else changed, by the way? Saudi Arabia apparently has grown a little bit. There actually is, like, Najal Jamar or whatever, or Najd, or a couple other things down here. New nations that were created in the Middle Eastern region. Yeah, Italy and the Middle East, basically, are the places that got all the changes. In this latest thing, the Wallonian Communal Republic. Really? You are trying to kill these guys, huh? Are they a part of the Third International? No. Okay, so you're basically trying to force Belgium to reunify under the Reichspakt. But you can't say that I blame you. I probably would do the same thing. Poland elects a new king. Congratulations. Flanders has capitulated. Immediately. To Wallonia. Well, Germans, you better frickin' do something. Your ally's dead. Probably didn't have any troops, like literally any. Probably. I have no idea. Alright, so I'm looking at my general down here and seeing that the syndicalists are apparently bulking up a little bit down here. He's not feeling as confident as he used to be. That's okay, though. That's okay, though. Unfortunately, as the Kingdom of Two Sicilies, we really don't have any political actions. It does not seem like Kaiserreich has fully taken advantage of the whole decisions thing yet. There's already so many that are focused in the event pop-ups you get that it might be a little bit too much to try and make them all into events and decisions down here. Well, anyway. Begin the industrialization efforts. Give me a free civilian factory, please. Please and thank you. Done. Okay, good. Interesting. You can actually go straight to off-map. Ooh, we can get military factories and stuff. We can do a lot with this. Ooh. Looking at the farming stuff, too, by the way. Consumer goods, that's really nice. Wow, that's really good. Land reform? So between this, 15% less consumer good factories. That's great. Modern farm, another 5%. Jeez! This is a good national focus tree. More population. That's really nice. This is all nice. So the question now is, do we want to go for more factories now, or do we want to start focusing more toward ending the crisis? That's a good question, because the reason you want to end the crisis is so that you construct more stuff and get more factories. But we could just straight up get more factories now, and that would also be a thing. The problem is, with so low factory outputs, they really wouldn't be able to do much on their own, even if we do have them, so I think maybe we do continue focusing down this route. Let's go for the infrastructure investments. Infrastructure, of course, is pretty good in Waking the Tiger. Gets you more factory slots. It gets you more resource production and stuff. They changed a bit about how infrastructure works. It's more important than it used to be. I mean, the expansion's been out for a while, so if you don't know that by now, then, I mean, you're obviously a casual, and I really don't know why I'm bothering to explain anything to you. Not to be too insulting, but it's true. It's true. All right, what do we want to focus on down here? Should we work on things like field hospitals? I think let's go for the recon companies because we know we're going to need that. What are my logistics looking like? We need a lot of infantry equipment because we're still trying to train up some troops. And you know something? We're actually going to change this to just be... We're going to cancel this and get some manpower back. There's only so much we can do at the moment anyway. We have some support equipment producing, which is good. Some artillery, which is good. Not really much, though. It's actually kind of pathetic. Flanders took a state, and there go the communists over there. Perfect. Okay. So the Reichspakt is doing their thing. You know, I actually have always kind of wanted to do an Austrian Empire playthrough. Not just in Kaiserreich, but also in the base game. I mean, Hungary can form the Austrian-Hungarian Empire. Austria can do some cool stuff, but they almost always get eaten by the Anschluss. It'd be really fun to reform the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, you know? That'd be cool. But in this game, the Danubian Federation's pretty good, and it actually gets, like, the entire Balkan region under their sphere of influence, which is also pretty cool. I don't know. That's another fun game someday. Anyway, now I think is a good time to be ending this. We'll come back to this event in a little bit, but thank you all very much for watching. I know not a lot happens at the beginning of the game, but as I said, we have to rebuild our economy in the aftermath of Black Monday, and then find a way to crush the freaking socialists. But either way, I hope you're looking forward to this series. I know that I am. If you are, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.